Musk has the ear of Vladimir Putin. Check it out.
Time Elon Musk adding another $26 billion to his wealth yesterday. Surge in Tesla stock. He's now worth $256 billion. That's according to Forbes.
That's $250 billion.
But this morning's Wall Street Journal is putting a new spotlight on Mr. Musk, reporting that he had, quote, secret conversations with Vladimir Putin. Among other items, the paper reports that Putin asked Musk to avoid activating his Starlink satellite internet service over Taiwan as a favor to Chinese leader Xi Jinping.
Jeremy Rogers says, Anton, I seen you picked up a Hellcat. How fast is it? It's out of control. It scares me. It genuinely scares me. And I haven't even broken it in yet. They say that it doesn't really give you the full power of the car itself until after you drive it 500 miles. I haven't even put 50 miles on that car, to be honest with you. It's just sitting in the garage. And it's a very scary car. I don't know how people allow these young guys that's tree smoking and running around to actually drive that car and to even be able to buy that car. That car is a missile, a 4 or 5,000 pound missile on wheels. It is a very scary car, and you need to be responsible if you're buying that car. It is very fast, and I'm afraid of even putting my foot on the gas that much. I ain't even put the red key in that joint. The black key is out of control. It's out of control. So I got it parked. It is crazy. It's a crazy car.
Eamon Javers joins us from Washington. It is a story that is already making noise at this very early hour.
Yeah, it absolutely is, Andrew. This is an important and astonishing story here from the Wall Street Journal, an enormous scoop by them. I should say at the outset that CNBC has not been able to independently confirm all the information in this story, but to give you a sense, here's what the Wall Street Journal is reporting this morning. As you suggest, they're saying that Musk has been in regular contact with Vladimir Putin since late 2022. They're also saying that the discussions included personal topics, business, and geopolitical tensions, and saying that Putin asked Musk, as you say, not to activate Starlink over Taiwan as a favor to Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Now, we should say that the Wall Street Journal story here is sourced to a number of officials, American, European, and Russian officials, confirming the existence of these conversations, which have not been previously reported before. I've spent the evening last night after this story broke talking with several former high-ranking U.S. intelligence officials, and here's what I can tell you their reaction was overnight. They're saying that it's unclear, first of all, if Musk has disclosed his contacts with Vladimir Putin as were required under his top-secret U.S. security clearance. They're also saying that failure to report contacts with foreign nationals can be grounds for suspension and in extreme cases, especially if it's deliberate failure to disclose foreign intelligence contact, the person could be charged with criminal charges. The U.S. may be trying to intercept Putin's communications, and Musk could have been recorded here, depending on the technology used. The NSA would normally refer to Musk as just U.S. person number one in any intelligence reports about those conversations. But if his identity is relevant here, U.S. intelligence reports may expressly reference Elon Musk's name in any reporting around any conversations between the two men that would have been intercepted by U.S. intelligence. We don't know any of that at this hour. There's still a lot that we don't know, including the exact content of these conversations. We don't know what Musk's intent was in having these conversations. Musk has been active on his social media platform this morning. I have not seen any comment from Elon Musk. We'll be eager to hear from him as soon as we can as to what his intent was in having these conversations with Vladimir.
Listen, I got a couple different opinions on this. Number one, if anybody cares to, if anybody actually has the patience, the intelligence, and the dedication to learn more about diplomacy, and I don't recommend it for people that are ignorant, because I think that it could be a very dangerous book, studying Henry Kissinger. If you haven't studied Henry Kissinger, Henry Kissinger died less than a year ago, and he was actually next to almost every single president in United States history during his lifetime. Henry Kissinger is a person that basically shaped, probably more than the presidents themselves, shaped the landscape by which the presidents operate And Diplomacy is a very interesting and powerful book. And it was recommended to me by one of my managers when I was having trouble in corporate America. And he recommended this book called Diplomacy to me by Henry Kissinger. It's like 600 pages. And let me tell you what diplomacy looks like. Diplomacy looks like the most powerful person in the world, because Elon Musk, in my opinion, is very much Iron Man. He is very much Robert Downey Jr. from the movies and real life. And he is the only company that was able to go over to China and establish a company over in China, because they make cars over there as well as over here in the United States of America, as well as over in Germany, to where he didn't have to give half of the company and half of the profits over to a Chinese company in which he had to partner with. He did it 100% on his own. And so him being able to do that alone and having the power and the control with Starlink and SpaceX, and then him doing business in practically almost every country in the world at some point in some shape or form, whether it's with Tesla or any of his other companies, and then him supporting Trump and saying, "Listen, we need Trump in office, and he can help end wars as well as audit the federal government and so on and so forth," is a benefit to the United States of America. I believe that the Biden-Harris administration and our federal officials are so fearful that people like him who are outsiders and Trump is going to completely drain the swamp, as well as get several different victories as far as getting us out of war and getting world peace. I believe that world peace is actually to the detriment of the United States government. That the war machine, especially how they tax citizens and capitalize and profit over what happens overseas in other countries, are so profitable. And it's one of the ways the Democratic Party is the war party. It's one of the ways that they maintain power. The last thing that they would like is diplomacy. The last thing that they would like is for you to work with your allies to ultimately end these proxy wars that we're funding here in the United States of America. I believe that it is. If you look at the federal budget, a lot of people don't understand what Congress argues over on a regular basis. If you look at our federal budget and how much that they put into our military, because the military is the main thing that allows for us to be one of the most powerful and profitable countries in the world. If you're looking at it and you understand it, why would they want Elon Musk, who is off the record or on the record, not off the record, on the record, the richest man in the world? Obviously, we know about Saudi money. They say that Vladimir Putin is probably a trillionaire. If we're really paying attention to it, wouldn't you want to have Iron Man on your team? Iron Man on your team is the most powerful thing you can have. And the fact that he's endorsing Donald Trump, yet Donald Trump is also saying we need Elon Musk or his team to head up and start to audit the federal government on every level in order to eliminate the waste spending, while at the same time reducing the taxes for the American people. Come on, man. You need a person that is outside of being a career politician to get into office and to have a conversation about what needs to happen for the American people. This is CNN's take, along with Kevin O'Leary, on what is going on inside of our federal government and whether Elon Musk having conversations with Putin or over in China is a good thing or a bad thing.
Tonight, a headline from the Wall Street Journal that Elon Musk certainly will not like. The paper is reporting that Musk and Russian President Vladimir Putin have been in regular contact since 2022. Putin, according to the journal's sources, at one point even asked Musk to not activate his Starlink satellite internet service over Taiwan as a favor to fellow autocrat Xi Jinping of China. Now, Musk didn't reply to the journal's ask for comment, and the Pentagon didn't comment as well. The Kremlin did acknowledge one phone call, but said that the pair are not in regular contact. CNN has not been able to independently verify any of this reporting as of this hour, but this is a pretty big deal considering all the things about Elon Musk.
And especially concerning, like you said, Elon Musk has kind of become one of Donald Trump's biggest advisors. He's out there possibly doing something illegal already with trying to buy votes and the whole...
He's handing out $1 million checks.
Exactly, with the lotteries, exactly. And the DOJ, Department of Justice, has warned him this could possibly be illegal. I think we don't know what the details are, right? The U.S. officials don't really know, but it's certainly not something that our
Molly, you know that money make the world go round. Power make the world go round. You know this.
national security officials are going to think that is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's take Trump and their relationship out of it for just a second. Elon Musk has a $1.8 billion classified contract with the United States government.
Yeah.
And it raises a lot of big questions about what are we doing here? I mean, are we just...
We're working with the world's
No,
greatest
but I'm just wondering, I mean, if you have, too much credit card debt, you can't get a security clearance.
I mean, look,
so
he is the world's greatest
what are we
entrepreneur.
doing
I don't
here?
disagree with that.
You know what?
Great
This
with
is a
satellites, great with
nothing
rocket
burger
technology,
issue. Who
But well,
cares?
I don't know about that. I have a lot of issues with someone that we're relying on for very sensitive information and technological advancements, working with Vladimir Putin, potentially working at the behest of Xi Jinping. These are two of our greatest adversaries. I got a big issue with that. And if this reporting is true, then we may need to reconsider some of these engagements that the federal government is having with Elon Musk. I love Elon Musk. I think he's a brilliant guy. But this crap is not okay for a whole host of reasons. These countries are our adversaries. Their objective in every regard is to defeat the United States however possible. And so this does make me very, very nervous.
I read that news a different way. Basically,
I don't know about
you've
that,
got
Kevin.
the Supreme Leader of China saying, do not put that freedom of speech over Taiwan. I forbid you to do it.
They have no right to forbid that.
Wait.
This is an American
And Elon
company,
Musk,
Kevin. What are you
just like
talking
he
about,
did
Kevin?
over Ukraine, gave him the finger, said, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm Elon Musk, and that's exactly
I don't
what
know
happened.
that's not what, just to be clear.
I don't know why they don't listen to Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary is the richest and the smartest person that's up there on that panel. And they want to disrupt him at every turn. Let me tell you something. Why wouldn't Elon Musk? Because what they're proposing up there on that panel is that Elon Musk shouldn't even be in the ear of Xi Jinping over in China or in Putin at all. They shouldn't even have his phone number. Why wouldn't they have his phone number when he's invested over $50 billion over in China in order to build cars to obviously become profitable over there also? Why wouldn't he? It's called diplomacy. If you have an enemy, and let me just say this for the people in the back that may not understand exactly what business power and diplomacy looks like, and this is just my personal opinion, so take it as you will, take it with a grain of salt. If you have an enemy, often at times, your enemy, especially when you're looking at it from a business perspective, should be a person that you are in regular contact with. If you have an enemy, because that enemy, especially from a business perspective, put your thinking hats on, has a vested interest as well, just as much as you do. So if we both, let's say for example, you make a product, you got a car company, and I got a car company. Let's say you got Ford and GM. Okay. Now Ford and GM wants to outsell each other in cars. But Ford and GM also understands that if they push through these mandates on a legislative level, then both of us may be out of business. So what do? They form a lobbying. They form a lobby that allows for them to go up to Washington and then craft legislation in their favor to ensure that they'll both remain in business. Me and you are still enemies at the end of the day, but we also have a similar interest as well as vested interest in what is happening here in the United States of America. So why at some point wouldn't we also be diplomatic towards each other? Even though I want to sell more cars than you, let's bring it back on a very lower level. YouTube. It's some people that I don't like on YouTube. It's some straight up people that I genuinely don't care about on YouTube. But guess what? I don't want them to be censored, even if it come at them talking about me negatively on YouTube. Well, why? Because then that would prevent me from being able to say what I want to say also. So then I would be more against censorship than I am against them in particular, because we both want YouTube to succeed and we both want to be profitable. So I'm not going to cut off my own income here on YouTube in order to go against them. I'm not going to destroy you in order to destroy myself. I don't hate you enough to kill myself. So then we both would have to work together in order to prevent censorship on YouTube And then we got to figure out what that looks like individually or together. Maybe we need to have a phone call. Maybe we need to work together. But I'm not going to destroy you in order to destroy myself. So I'm against censorship, even though I don't like what you said against me. You understand what diplomacy looks like now? On a very and that's why I like to break it down from a C student's perspective. You understand? So him having an ear to China and even to Putin, would that also be in our best interest in order to solve for not having any new wars, especially if Donald Trump is the person that he's endorsing for president of the United States of America? Wouldn't it be good for Donald Trump to have an ear to or lie to Vladimir Putin instead of just going war, 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 war? Because nobody wants a nuclear war. Guess what? You lose, I lose, everybody burns up. I love my country more than I hate you. And so the goal is ultimately to find out where it is that we can come together to have some kind of diplomatic conversation and figure out what do you want and what are you willing to make a concession on, and what do I want and what am I willing to make a concession on. The problem with the United States of America today is that people are so far left and so far right, especially the people that's way left, they're willing to destroy America in order to not let Donald Trump become president of the United States of America, even though they know Kamala Harris is a horrible candidate. There is no bipartisan agreement because things have become so far right and so far left that now they're labeling each other as the enemy, and they're using things that's not even true to justify why they voting for somebody. That's why when you hear people, and this is a dangerous rhetoric, this is so dangerous where we living at today. When you hear people say, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because I don't like Donald Trump, that is a problem to me. Because then that means that you hate him so much that you're willing to vote against your own best interest. If you tell me, listen, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because A, B, C, and D, and this is how it benefits me as a person, I'm cool with it because who you are and what you need in your life may be different from me and what you stand for. But when I see Kamala Harris supporters, and this is why it bothers me when she's on a CNN town hall or on an interview or at a rally and she says, but Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, and she says, and she mentions him more than she mentions her own policy, that means that she's fear mongering and they're trying to convince people to not like him and to vote against him instead of voting for her. And that's a problem. You know why? Because that means that your hate supersedes your love, even for yourself. And so I can't rock with it. It doesn't make sense to me. Because then that means that I can't negotiate with you. I can't have bipartisan agreement with you. I can't even meet in the middle with you. I can't even have a conversation with you because you're so far gone and removed and operating in hate that there is no bipartisan agreement. There is no bridge to cross. There is no common ground that we can have with each other because you hate so much that you'll even hate yourself and kill and destroy your own self interests because you don't like me or you don't like him so much more than you love yourself. That's crazy to me. I can tolerate somebody on the left saying, I'm voting for her because, but when they say I'm voting against him, that's how I know you're full of the devil. That's how I know, because listen, you can't have light and darkness in the same place. You can't have light and darkness in the same place. And when you hate somebody so much that you're voting against them instead of voting for your candidate, I know that you lost. I know that you lost. And there's nothing that we can do to save you. And so now we just got to remove you from the equation because there is no negotiating with a terrorist.